Welcome to Cultural Lens, the podcast where we challenge common misconceptions and deepen our understanding of diverse cultures. I'm your host, Sophia, and today we're diving into a topic that many people think they understand but often don't: Vietnam, specifically the southern region. From its history to its cuisine, many stereotypes shape how the world views this part of Vietnam. I'm thrilled to be joined today by our guest Aviella, a cultural expert from southern Vietnam who will help us set the record straight. Aviella, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sophia. It's great to be here. As someone born and raised in southern Vietnam, I've encountered many of these misconceptions firsthand. Today, I'm excited to clarify some of the most persistent myths and share a deeper look into my culture.
Through this discussion, we hope to provide accurate insights into Vietnam's traditions, daily life, and realities. Let's begin. One common idea I've heard is that all Vietnamese people wear traditional áo dye daily. Is that true?
That's a great example of a misconception. While the áo dye is an important cultural symbol, it is mostly worn on formal occasions, such as weddings, festivals, or national events. In daily life, most people wear modern, casual clothing just like in other parts of the world. In southern Vietnam, given the warm climate, people prefer lightweight fabrics and practical outfits. So, while the áo dye is beautiful and deeply meaningful, it's not our everyday attire.
That makes sense. Another common stereotype is about Vietnamese cuisine. Many people assume that pho is the national dish and that every meal includes it. What's the reality?
Pho is definitely well known internationally, but Vietnamese cuisine is incredibly diverse. Especially in the south, we have dishes like hủ tiếu, a flavorful noodle soup with a distinct broth, bánh xèo, savory crispy pancakes, and com tum, broken rice with grilled pork. The South's food is often sweeter compared to the North, using more coconut milk and fresh herbs. Pho is just one piece of the larger culinary puzzle.
That's fascinating. One last misconception I've heard is that Vietnam is primarily rural, with people mostly living in small villages. Is that an accurate portrayal?
Not at all. While Vietnam does have beautiful rural landscapes, it also has bustling modern cities, especially in the south. Ho Chi Minh City, for example, is a major economic hub with skyscrapers, tech startups, and a vibrant arts scene. It's a mix of old and new, where you'll find historic markets alongside high-end shopping malls. Urbanization has been rapid, with over 60% of the population expected to live in cities by 2050, according to the General Statistics Office of Vietnam.
We've received some listener questions about Vietnamese culture. One asks, is it true that everyone in Vietnam rides motorbikes?
Motorbikes are definitely a major part of transportation in Vietnam, especially in the south, where traffic is dense and streets are narrow. Ho Chi Minh City alone has over 7 million motorbikes. However, not everyone relies on them. Public buses, taxis, and even a growing metro system are other options. And in recent years, car ownership has been increasing as well.
That's an interesting shift. Another listener asks, do all Vietnamese people celebrate Tet the same way?
Tet, or Lunar New Year, is our biggest holiday, but celebrations vary by region. In the south, Tet is often more relaxed and family-oriented, with a focus on gatherings, lucky money, lì and enjoying sweet treats like bang Tet, sticky rice cakes with banana or pork filling. In contrast, the north has a more formal approach, with stricter traditions around ancestor worship and ceremonial offerings. So while the core values of Tet remain the same, how it's celebrated depends on where you are.
How can individuals avoid falling into these misconceptions when learning about Vietnam?
The best way is to engage with locals directly. Whether through travel, cultural exchange programs, or even online conversations, hearing from people who live there gives the most accurate picture. Also, be mindful of how media portrays a country sometimes. Films and news focus on one perspective and don't reflect the full reality. Finally, recognize Vietnam's regional differences. The North, Central, and South all have unique traditions, dialects, and ways of life. Researching beyond surface level stereotypes can make a huge difference.
That's such valuable advice. Engaging with people firsthand really helps break down assumptions. Today, we explored misconceptions about Vietnam's culture, from clothing and cuisine to city life and traditions. The key takeaway: Vietnam is diverse, modern, and rich in traditions that extend far beyond common stereotypes. We encourage you to reflect on your own perceptions and share your thoughts with us in the comments below. If you have more questions, feel free to send them in. Next time on Cultural Lens, we'll take a deep dive into the cultural nuances of Kyrgyzstan. You won't want to miss it.